Situated in the former home of a Ford Motor Company assembly plant, which dates back more than a century and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, 21C Oklahoma City takes full advantage of the scale and openness of its historical setting right in the center of the action on Main Street.
Oklahoma City is very authentic.
It's got a heart, and that heart's in the people. But the culture here is not what you'd expect. It's not the stereotype.
Midtown is kind of like a town within itself.
If you're in Midtown, you're gonna get a lot of local restaurants, the local shopping.
There's always something going on in Midtown.
If you want to get a local experience, come to the Plaza District. Good food, good people, niche shops, every business of them are locally owned.
People in Oklahoma City understand what keeping it local and what shopping local truly means.
You probably need to go down to Bricktown.
I see so many people from out of town coming to Oklahoma City to Bricktown as a destination.
They just built this new boating area over here off the highway where you can get on the rafts and ride the water. It's called the Boat District. It's real fun.
The Paseo is known for local art galleries.
They always have the art walk.
I love going to the 21C.
It's got great art, it's got the awesome food, great cocktails inside Mary Eddy's.
The fact that I can pick up a cocktail and wander around and enjoy artwork at midnight is something I can't find anywhere else in Oklahoma City.
We have so many amazing chefs in Oklahoma City. They're always creating new flavor combinations.
The restaurant scene here is blooming.
There are just all kinds of great restaurants.
My favorite restaurant to check out is in the Plaza District. It's called Goro. Small menu, but like everything that's on the menu is delicious. And we like to hit up Empire, get a slice of pizza, and then they have a giant beer list.
I can eat just the crusts because it's so good.
Every kind of food is represented pretty well.
Regardless of what you want to eat, there's a really good chance you're going to find it here in Oklahoma City.
Man, it's booming. I'm telling you, you got bars and clubs and things everywhere. It's a cool place, I'm telling you. I'm sooner born, sooner bred, and when I die, I'll be sooner dead.
From the 16-foot misting metal tree on the sidewalk to the ballroom floor embedded with urban signage and symbols in cutout metal, to the 12-foot red arrows bursting through the guest room level floors, art and innovation is everywhere at the home of the Purple Penguin. The 14,000 square feet of exhibition and event space at 21C Oklahoma City allows us to curate on a truly ambitious scale. Currently on view is Seeing Now, a multimedia exhibition that explores what and how we see today, how visual and psychological perception are evolving in the 21st century. Artist Michael Waugh explains his practice of micrography in this video about his large-scale drawing, The Unraveling, the Financial Crisis Inquiry Report, Part 8.
My two-dimensional work uses a historical technique called micrography. And with micrography, it's literally tiny calligraphy. So you're using text to create a representational image. So from a distance, it just looks like a normal landscape, but when you get up close, that landscape dissolves and you notice it's all handwritten words. The piece that's in 21C is the Financial Crisis Inquiry Report. It's a congressional report detailing the housing collapse and the banking collapse of 2008. One of the kind of melancholic aspects of this work is that I'm using these dense, important texts that often aren't written to be very readable. And even the people that should be reading them don't read them. The politicians that need to know this information, it would be unreasonable to think that they could even physically read 500-page reports on every issue they need to know about. It is kind of sad that not every word gets read and considered. The connection between the words and the image, so it's somewhere between a metaphor and a story, and my idea is to really engage a person in trying to figure that out and making a story of their own.
Next up at 21C Oklahoma City is the supernatural. In the still and moving images of land and cityscapes, and in the taxidermy and fabricated hybrid figures of this exhibition, nature meets technoculture, and the new natural is both organic and artificial.
It is hard to take something dead and give it a new life, but I think that we project on it because now it reflects us. We project life into it. I want you to see that it's highly constructed. So all the stitching and pinning is a big part of the piece. It adds beauty, it holds people's curiosity, they want to know why I did it. But you have that back and forth of recognizing that it has a life to it, but also seeing that it's constructed. I'm trying to have people approach the work and simply, in recognizing themselves, relate to the work. Recognize the face, recognize that the body is animal, and sort of make that very simple connection that we are still part of the animal kingdom. Like that's the baseline of what this work is about.
We pack a lot of fear into the landscape right now, says artist Chris Doyle, who uses both painting and software animation to explore the evolution of nature and artifice.
What we make and what we produce, including the detritus, the garbage that we produce, all of that stuff is an extension of the natural world. I don't see this big duality between man and nature that's been set up for us for so long. We are generating waste, but we're also generating a tremendous amount of technology very quickly and very suddenly. And I'm always amazed at how industrious we are as a species. There's just this stuff that we make, and some of it we use and other stuff we discard, but it's still generated, it's still production. And I think that was, waste generation was my way of looking at the landscape and trying to wrap my head around all of this production, why we do it, and why we might have the urge to produce so very much material at our own peril, like that actually would then undermine the conditions in which we're capable of existing. And that urge, that drive must be pretty powerful if we're actually willing to do it at our own expense. Piece that I've got going right now in Times Square called the Bright Canyon Project, it's easy to imagine that you're somehow separate from those animals, but it's kind of remarkable because this is the greatest manifestation of just how, as an animal species, we are industrious. And so I think even a space like Times Square is a great example of just a really complicated bird's nest. You know, it's like just a really busy little thing that we've made. But then there is this question of what the cost is and how do we turn that cost into a more appropriate or positive way of continuing our existence. I'm a person who always feels isolated, separated out from everyone else. And so I make work to connect.